Hey, KiDSCOR volunteers, thanks for being awesome and serving alongside us. Whether you serve on Sundays or Wednesdays or somewhere in between, we love serving with you and we want you to know that you are making a difference. Today's video is all about separation anxiety, and whether you work with babies or fifth graders, we've all seen separation anxiety exhibit itself in various ways, and really since 2020 it has become even more commonplace. Our awesome people like Sherri, Amy, and Mike have a few age-based tips to help you handle each child with separation anxiety. Each will focus on a certain age level, as the strategies are just a little bit different as a child gets over. So you ready? Check it out.
Here's a tip to help our youngest friends settle into a classroom when they're missing a parent. The key is to distract. Bring them to a window and point out the cars driving by, the people walking to church, or maybe even a cute bunny. Babies need lots of encouragement to settle into a classroom. Find a toy that will keep them occupied, then sit next to them and play with it. If that doesn't work, try to move around the room with them. Point out the bulletin boards, read a book with them, remind them that Jesus loves them. If you have more than one child who is having a difficult time, it might be time for a bubble party. Put on some fun music, get the bubbles going, and children love to pop the bubbles and dance with the music. Sometimes it takes trying different things until the child settles. Don't give up, be patient and comforting and encouraging, and soon they will be having a great time in your classroom.
Thanks, Sherri. That's one of my favorite tips on distractions, the bubble party. Sometimes it helps me to think about a time when you walk into a room and a place where you've never been with people that you've never seen and you don't know. That can be a very scary situation, especially for a young child. Here are a couple of tips on how to help a preschool child who's feeling separation anxiety. The first thing you can do is to greet them at the door and help them engage in an activity. They might just need to do something that is familiar to them to help them feel more comfortable. Two great activities would be to invite them to the tables to do a fun craft or color, or you can go to the book area to read a story. They love that. Another thing you could do is ask questions. Ask them their favorite toy to play with at home, or ask them if they have any pets. They love to talk about their animals. One final tip is to give them choices. Ask them, do you want to play with the blocks or read a book? Or do you want to look out the window or sit at the table? This helps the child feel like they have some control over their situation. A lot of times, these children just need a friend that will help them get used to their new environment. And if all else fails, don't forget the bubbles. All right, now let's see what Mr. Mike has to say.
Thanks, Amy. By the time kids get to elementary school, they usually aren't dealing with separation anxiety as much as they were when they were younger. But you will still have the occasional kiddo who will struggle when getting dropped off. The first thing I would suggest is to assure the adult dropping off that everything will be fine, and that if needed, we'll contact them by text. The quicker you can make the drop-off happen, the better the situation will be. Once the child has been checked in, introduce yourself and take them over to some of the activities and games set up around the room and try to get them engaged. Before the lesson begins, introduce them to another kid in the room and help them make a connection. As always, if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to ask any of us, and we will do our best to help you make sure every kid has a great experience in KiDSCOR.